Narcissus was a handsome young man. He was so good-looking all the young girls who saw him but he would have nothing to do with them. Even Echo, most beautiful of the nymphs, did not attract him, though she was desperately in love with him. Echo was a follower and favorite of the huntress, Diana, but even Diana could not protect her against the spite and malice of a more powerful goddess, Juno. One day Juno was seeking her husband, who, she had reason to fear, was amusing himself among the nymphs. Echo by her talk contrived to detain the goddess till the nymphs made their escape. When Juno discovered it, she passed sentence upon Echo in these words: "You shall forfeit the use of that tongue with which you have cheated me. Except for the one purpose you are so fond of, reply." The nymph was struck dumb. She put her hands to her throat, her fingers to her lips, and looked around in horror. "Let this be a lesson to you. You always wanted the last word. Now you shall have nothing else." "Nothing else," said Echo. She found the words in her mouth. And they were the only ones she could speak. "You may go now," said the Queen of the Gods. "Go now," said Echo, without meaning to. Echo ran sobbing off the mountain and wandered about miserably in the foothills. One day, Echo saw Narcissus, a beautiful youth, as he pursued the chase upon the mountains. She loved him and followed his footsteps. Oh, how she longed to address him in the softest accents and win him to converse. But it was not in her power. She waited with impatience for him to speak first, and had answer ready. One day the youth, being separated from his companions, shouted aloud, "Who's here?" Echo replied, "Here." Narcissus looked around, but seeing no one called, "Come." Echo answered, "Come." As no one came, Narcissus called again, "Why do you shun me?" Echo asked the same question. "Let us join one another," said the youth. The maid answered with all her heart, in the same words, and hastened to the spot, ready to throw her arms around his neck. He started back, exclaiming, "Hands off! I would rather die than you should." "Help me, said she, but it was all in vain. He left her, and she went off to hide her blushes in the recesses of the woods. From that time forth she lived in caves and among mountain cliffs. Her form faded with grief, till at last all her flesh shrank away. Her bones were changed into rocks and there was nothing left of her but her voice. With that she is still ready to reply to anyone who calls her, and keeps up her old habit of having the last word. All this while, Narcissus sat by the pool staring at his reflection. Somehow he could not seem to tear himself away. The more he looked, the more he liked what he saw. Narcissus fell in love with the face in the water, just as Echo had fallen in love with him. He longed to kiss those lips, just as Echo had longed to kiss his. At last, leaning down towards the shining pool, he kissed the water. And the face reflected there dissolved into ripples. "Oh, don't go." Narcissus reached out and plunged his hand into the water, but only managed to shatter the reflection altogether. As he saw it depart, he exclaimed, "Stay, I entreat you. Let me at least gaze upon you, if I may not touch you." He was so taken with his own beautiful reflection that he gazed and gazed, transfixed, hypnotized as it were, by his own good looks, in a sense worshipping his own image. He knew now how others had suffered from his fatal charm. His punishment for his vanity was that he could never leave that image in the pool. Only death could free him from himself. And so it was. Never moving, he lay there until he died. His last words were to his reflected image, "Farewell, farewell." Echo, nearby, could do nothing to help him. All she could do was repeat his words, farewell, saying goodbye to her beloved who had refused to be her lover. The nymphs, whom he had rejected, mourned for him. They looked for his body to bury it, but could not find it. Where he had lain by the pool they found a beautiful new flower with bright colors and a strong but sweet fragrance. Still loving the youth who had caused them so much pain, they named the flower Narcissus.